Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge After Show, episode 2 of Spies, Lies, and Allies. Bertha, which at first I was like, who the hell's Bertha on this show? But that all comes in later on the episode. Ladies, how are you this evening?
Guys, I just want to start by saying, because I missed last week's recap, we're 2 episodes in and I love the shit out of this season. It's awesome. At first I thought maybe I was opposed to the new crop of people coming in being like reality TV stars in their own right, but I feel like they're genuine, authentic personalities. I love what they bring. They're really fun and exciting to watch. And I also feel like it's reminiscent of past seasons where, for example, on the elimination tonight, is it dramatic of me to say that like I was actually having anxiety and looking like this and didn't want to watch because I was so heavily rooting for one team that I felt like I needed to leave the room. Like I couldn't watch the elimination unfold. I'm like, this takes me back to when I was like in college watching this show. Like it's just a really, really good season already.
Yes. I to follow Jenna, Dan, I think the producers really did listen to you. There's more hookups. There's cooler, different, new challenges for the daily challenge. Both of them, the challenge and the finale challenge. What's it called?
Challenge and elimination.
Elimination. Yeah, the elimination. There's new ones. And this whole episode, again, as Tommy says at the end, I was on the edge of my toes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Edge of your seat. Like, I guess if you were on a diving board, you could be on the edge of your
toes. He was being a ballerina and he was up on his tippy toes, apparently, just like,
Yeah. Have you ever been in a position? He was probably so nervous under the hot lights of the confessional that he just said whatever came to his mind. There's so many times where I'm in a job interview or I'm on a work phone call, something comes out, I'm like, I don't even know if that was an actual word that I just said.
And the producers are going to roll with stuff like that. Just like when Nelson said our favorite line we always say about Nelson.
Needy greedy.
Needy greedy.
I have one. I've done it. I've said it's on the tip of my brain a lot. Like
tip of my brain.
Kind of on the tip of your tongue. I've said like, oh, it's right on the tip of my brain. And my friend still makes fun of me for that. So yes, I have been there.
Well, Jenna, we are so happy that you're enjoying it as much as we are, because Pam and I couldn't say enough about how much we loved it last week. And it was such a nice change of pace, as they say, because we were, me especially, I was hating on so many of the past seasons, the last couple. So now people can't call me a hater as much this season, hopefully. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's dive right into it. Speaking of dive, we're Pam and I, and possibly Jenna tomorrow, we're going to be doing a deep dive on certain topics that we're not going to be able to fully discuss tonight. We're going to discuss them a little bit, but we're going to go even deeper, hence the deep dive, on our Patreon. So if you want to join us over there at the Challenge After Show on Patreon, you're more than welcome to. We're also going to be doing a Patreon of one-liners, best quotes, because we loved watching past seasons, and we're going to do quotes for our Patreon this week. So we're excited about that. Yes, ladies?
Yes. I have some ones that I think you guys might enjoy, and a few are niche. So I hope that
I think that, I don't think we're going to match two. There's so many great quotes. I think we're going to have a big diversity in our choices.
There's a lot.
Yes. Thanks, Pam. 37 seasons worth.
37 seasons worth. Yeah, some of them I got and I went into a rabbit hole today too, looking.
Yeah. Speaking of holes, it looks like Kels wants to go into Tori's hole.
Guys.
Sorry, that's awful.
Are we starting? Since everybody who's watching our show watched the episode, so they can't call us out for spoilers. They know what happened. I am so disappointed that Kels went home. This was not, and it's not against Ed, but it is fully against Emmy, because I didn't actually get to watch you guys review last week, but I do not like Emmy based off of last episode. And I'm very disappointed in her and how the rookies called out Michaela. I feel like Michaela was done so wrongly. If they just put their heads together and realize that they outnumber the veterans, then they would realize, then we can take them out. Like Michaela was just trying to strategize and actually play the game, and Emmy was a tattletale and ran real quick to go suck off the vets, and is really a narc. So fuck.
There's mixed reviews out on Emmy, but go ahead, Pam. Yeah.
Well, what Dan and I said last week was I thought that Emmy had good gameplay for doing that. But this week I've kind of been like, she's too much. I don't like her. And I loved Michaela, was my favorite. And I think Dan thought, oh, we'll never see them again. I think you have to eat your words because she's been a big, everyone's favorite. She's been the guest on all the after shows.
Pamela, I couldn't disagree with you more because every week that's what they're going to do on the Aftermath. This week it's going to be who the hell lost tonight. They're going to be on the Aftermath.
It was another. And I like Cal's, but Jenna, Ed was on a show that I watched and I loved him.
Okay. He's a personality.
Yeah.
And again, it's nothing against Ed that I wasn't rooting against him. I was solely, truly rooting against Emmy. I did not want her to win at all. I feel like she's a narc tattletale and I like her based off. It's wrong to say, I can't say I don't like her personally, obviously, but based off of that one episode, I'm like, yeah, I don't like the way you're playing this game at all.
Didn't like her last week. She didn't help her cause.
She's a narc. She's not smart because you put your head with your rookies and you take Tori out. Tori's gonna pick you off the first second she can. She did this episode. Tori said, "I want Emmy in elimination," and that's where she ended up. But Michaela wanted Tori out. If the rookies work together to get Tori into elimination, sure, the likelihood of her coming back is very strong. However, Michaela had the right mindset. Let's go for strong veterans because the veterans don't give a shit about the rookies. They're going to pluck them one by one.
Well,
so
that's all kind of bullshit too. The whole the list wasn't the list that was presented.
Right, she fabricated that.
Okay, but we've got enough. But real quick, I just want to say to wrap this until we get there. The real villain is Josh.
For being talk about liar.
Yes, a lying, scheming snake, and
ladies, you're gonna get plenty of chances to go against Josh. And I'll say this I'll say this one thing about Emmy because you brought it up, Jenna. If you didn't like her last week, and I was like, I'm on the fence about her. I don't really know anything about her. I don't care yet. There's no way she helped her cause tonight with the way that she was acting like a baby the whole damn time. Like it's does nobody watch this damn show before they come on? I say it every damn season when I talk to you girls. How do they not know? Corey
L does. Corey L understands the game and that's good.
Anyways, so like I was saying, Kels and Tori, they have a thing. Tori does this little flip onto his lap. They're being super flirty. There's just a bunch of vignettes to start off this episode. We see how small Nelson really is, but then again, Kels is huge. Did you see them standing next to each other tonight in the workout area?
That's why, again, it's just so disappointing that Kels is gone. He was going to be such a force. And
I wish he got to go against. I guess she got to send Fessy home in a hall brawl.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting, though, that the producers kind of knew. They definitely already knew who was going into that, and they purposely chose a non-physical competition, but again, we keep jumping ahead, but why the hell not? Doesn't matter. They purposely chose a puzzle and you didn't have to have a lot of strength to pull them back up. I don't really think. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, off track. Some more vignettes is the vets talk about how they think Kels is behind the whole rookie alliance. I don't know where they got that idea, but I literally wrote down Kels is going in tonight in my first chunk of notes. And I did it again, Pam, just like I did last week with the producers kind of give it away every episode who's going in. And they did it again with Kels tonight. Kels was the first rookie mentioned. Sorry, Pam, what's up?
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
I didn't catch it, all right.
Surprised when he got we'll get again.
I know.
Okay.
Everything else in the beginning. What an awful camera angle on Ashley's bed. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see her and Nelson hooking up. I didn't see the bed shake or anything, girls.
I think that was the point. Maybe.
You don't think there was a better, so you're saying there was a better camera angle. They chose not to use it just to get Dan frustrated because he couldn't see the action? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's silly of Nelson to assume that Ashley would not get upset and for him to start hooking up with someone else in the house too, regardless of him saying, I think that she knew that we're both free agents and this was for fun. It's like, Nelson, you got to know Ashley a little bit better than that, right?
And you see him even at the beginning of the episode flirting with Berna before we even know that anything might happen between those two. And I took a note, I was like, hey, he's flirting with Berna, but maybe it's nothing because he goes right to Ashley's bed. But clearly later we see that it's more than nothing.
flirting. He jumped from cuddling with, he like fell asleep, like spooning with Berna, and then went to get some action with Ashley.
Right, no, yeah.
Yeah, that's
totally.
why right off the gate, it didn't even look like flirting. It looked like he was fully
Flirting. They fell asleep
Yeah.
together, like in each other's arms. But also holler to the editors, producers, because they cut it together in the preview that we were talking about to make it look like Nellie was telling Ashley, I like you for who you are. I can't. So we got excited that they were.
Jenna, Pam's jumping ahead to the club scene now, and and Pam, you're actually calling me out, which I love, because I said on this after show that Nelson was talking to Ashley at the club and said how much he liked her, not just because of how hot she is.
They showed Ashley, and then they showed him saying that. Like they led us to believe.
Totally got us. It was such a great.
God.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing because they did. That's why sometimes I'm like, okay, and this happens with the Bachelor franchise as well. I don't like to see the previews because I don't like to see anything. But then I'm like, if this is modern day, they can make anything look like anything, and then you're like, what?
They did a great job because ladies, I have a question for you about Fessy. He's celebrating Ramadan right now, and he's fasting. So I don't ever have to fast for anything as far as my religion or just lifestyle. What does that mean? Can he only drink liquids?
No, I can answer.
What does he do?
Because he explained it last week, so I can tell what Ramadan fasting is, which is probably different from other religions fasting, is from sun up to sundown, you don't eat. So when the sun's down, when it's the evening, you can eat and drink.
Anything he wants?
Anything you want. When the sun is up in the morning till it sets in the night, you fast. So I believe, and please don't at me if I'm wrong, that is what Fessy's explanation was, that until sundown you fast. So I don't think there's restrictions after sundown, but I do not celebrate Ramadan, so I might be incorrect.
Yeah, I wonder how he sets his portion.
I'm so happy to have done it too. I can't remember his name. He was on the Knicks and then he went to the Blazers. But when the Blazers were in the NBA Finals last year, he was fasting for Ramadan, one of the athletes, and you just kind of do it, if that's your religion. And he performed well.
Are you sure it was the Blazers weren't in the NBA Finals last year?
Just not in the actual finals, just in the playoffs.
The playoffs? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the daily challenge. If you ladies are excited for that, yes?
Yeah. There's a lot of join our Patreon to hear more of a deep dive into hookups because we're going to move on. But there was a lot going on between the beginning and everything. So
yeah, we're gonna there's plenty more in the next chunk after the daily challenge too. It's called Heli Heist, Helicopters and Range Rovers and Cars. Oh my! I added that last part in. Of course, I mean, Jenna, you must have loved this. TJ,
I love this challenge. Well, okay, so at first I was laughing because the stupid car comes in, all the effects and the props come in, and one of the challengers, I think it's Tracy, or no, it's God. There's so many new names now. I can't remember them all. Her name starts with a B. She's like, "Is this TJ or is this James Bond?" And it's
Bettina.
Yeah. So of course, like all the cars and all the stupid shit comes in, but I loved the actual challenge. Like it was just simple but really fun and entertaining to watch. Like all the teams, some teams were terrible. I think it was actually Kelsey's team that only got 6 beanbags, but some of the other ones were just Esther, I just love her personality and her athleticism, everything about her I love. And she had a cannon on her arm and was just whipping the beanbags down to Fessy. So I really liked this one. It was a good even playing field. We got to see some of the rookies and see what they were made of.
Agree.
Okay. I'll go the other way with it. This was my least favorite part of the whole episode. I just thought it would be really fun to do. I know. Well, hey, why not? I didn't enjoy it. I was hoping you girls wouldn't enjoy it either, so we could all trash on it together. I was just bored. I didn't have to do any. I just kind of sat there. I'm like, they're all doing the exact same thing. There's no drama with it, really. I mean, you saw like, oh, they put Big T up there. There's a little drama because she hates heights. Why the hell would they put her up there? But
and Emmy hates heights.
Emmy too. But I was super impressed with Esther. Esther and Fessy, we picked teams that we thought might win if they stayed together the whole time, Jenna. And they were one of my top teams that I picked and circled. And boom, they won this challenge. So I'm glad I was right on that in that regard. But yeah, Emmy freaking out. that made me like her less. I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's gonna
Okay.
after she did it, she was freaking out, saying how she thought she was gonna be weak. And I think, and it's funny because like we talked about last week, Pam, she tried so hard to not be to get herself from being the rookie to go in because she tattletaled on with the note. But then she goes back in right away tonight. So Emmy, it didn't work for you, girl. Like you got thrown and you're not making it easier on yourself by getting all worked up. Sorry.
Listen, okay. So what I thought was that they did a good job of explaining how it was done for the first three. I thought they did this section pretty well. Like they showed how it was done by showing like Tori, Allen, Jeremiah versus Tori, like the first three teams they did it. And then they just fast forwarded through to the end pretty much. I mean, they only showed little scenes. So I thought it was great because I did appreciate that this was not something we've seen before, exactly, at least, which is nice. And then moving up to that, I agree. Emmy is good TV, but I think she's playing more of a get TV game than I mean, she's just throwing temper tantrums. Like she's actually out.
So you're saying I think that she's just a very emotional person and she's just not showing, like, I don't think she's doing it for TV time. I really don't. I think that it's helping her get TV time, but go on, I'm sorry.
No. I on what you're saying, I agree, but she also won Survivor in her country, and that is tough. So she's acting like such a baby.
That's interesting.
And I'm like, you can't be that much of a baby and win Survivor. You're like eating bugs from under rocks, and like you don't, so it's like my feeling on her at this point is like, God, what a baby. You're not cut out for this if you're gonna cry and temper tantrum and take everything to heart and every second of every game. And I was the worst. I'm terrible.
Now, Pamela, do we know that if on Survivor she was just this emotional too, but she still just pulled through somehow?
I have no idea.
Maybe she was the same type of, that's just how she does.
Her emotions do seem sincere, but back to what Jenna was saying about just not liking her, I was like, I think that Tommy is a snake from last week, whereas Emmy, that was good gameplay to endear yourself to the veterans and then target on someone else. I mean, that was just kind of smart. So I
agree. I dislike Tommy too. I pretty much, what I wanted from Michaela at the end of last episode was not to go out gracefully. I wanted her to turn around and basically say, fuck you, Emmy, fuck you, Tommy. Kind of Michelle, but not really, because you were like, okay about it. But really, if my teammates, all us rookies, if you guys were a bunch of idiots that were so ready to go like grovel to the veterans, you realize it wouldn't have had to been one of your own that got knocked out tonight. It could have been a strong veteran, and they don't care about you. They're never going to protect you. So why are you protecting them?
To your point, Jenna, that's what they have to do at the beginning of these shows is find excuses that aren't even necessarily real, like we saw again tonight, just to get people to go into these eliminations, because there was no reason for Kells to be singled out. It was a big dude in the house. Josh was afraid of him, and that's what happened. And just like with Michaela, her name is Michaela last week. I'm already forgetting her name. Michaela, I know you love her, Pam. But Michaela, yes, she made a list of people that she was wanted to watch out for. But everyone's doing that mentally. We already talked about this too.
Yes.
So it's just an excuse to get them in there. It's something to the producer, we need a reason for you doing this, not just because you just need to throw someone in. It's because it's early in the game. So I
don't think it's the producers, actually. Unpopular opinion, because I know that we're always very conscientious of producers, and we try to pin a lot on them, which I'm sure it's manipulated, but I actually think in this case that people in this house are just so quick to blame somebody for nothing and fabricate things and let the drama explode. And they just domino effect off of each other. So the second something came out about a secret note, it's like a middle school rumor. It just catches fire and everyone's like, she definitely wrote a list about me personally. And it's not like that. She showed you the list and she wrote everybody's teams down. Also, what is so wrong with the girl strategizing? When Devin and Josh do it when they're playing checkers, it's all they're righteous for doing that. They're doing the same shit. They want a strong person out. The veterans are doing exactly what Michaela wanted to do, but none of the rookies followed her. So that just sucks for her. She was just trying to play the game.
Being a rookie on this show must be just much more difficult than obviously playing the game in the past, just because you've been there before, you know what's going on. But they're gunning for you too, and you're all trying to just save yourselves at this point. So for them to try to team up, I just think it's gonna be really difficult because they're going to want to latch themselves onto bets. You saw what happened at the end of the episode today. Did Big Ed and Emmy stay together? Hell no. And they made the right decision not to, because they would have been gunned for yet again.
It doesn't even matter the partners though. And I like that you can pick people individually. I mean, it matters, when you actually compete in the eliminations and challenges. So yes, I recant that. It does matter. However, when you get picked to go into elimination, you can be singled off. So it really holds so much stock,
That doesn't matter. Pam and I talked about last week how it really doesn't matter. Just try to stay with someone strong for as long as you can, because it's going to keep getting mixed up anyways.
Yeah, so I think though the challenge did actually show me some people's strengths. Like I thought Jeremiah looked really good. He was really fast. He was really quick with his hands. I thought he showed that he was athletic. So I think he looked really good. I think Emmanuel obviously looked amazing. Like he was definitely a very unassuming athlete. Looking at him, you think he's going to be another drunken pirate like Kyle, which Kyle actually is very strong. So again, the two of them together look like their diet is like a bag of Doritos, but they perform like high caliber athletes. So I thought seeing that was cool. And again, seeing Esther kick ass. So there's definitely was some notable like takeaways of players from the challenge.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts on the daily challenge this evening, ladies?
So when Amber B comes in,
I'm so sorry. That's a huge thing. Okay. Oh my.
You're good. So Amber B comes in, and I really wanted her to kick Fessy's ass in the game, but obviously Fessy did a lot better. Fessy and Esther won the whole thing, but it came down to Fessy and Esther as well as Casey and Emmanuel. So I was like, damn, those are the people that it's who Fessy picked to be his partner in the final, but Amber B got the money anyway. But I was just kind of mad about Fessy's perception of Amber B coming back into the game, saying she's so entitled in this game. It's like, she won the final, relax. So I really wanted Amber B to kind of take it to him, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
I feel bad for Amber B that she has to be partnered with Josh. And can we moving on to the Amber B Josh partnership talk time, or is that too?
Well, I do want to mention TJ says absolutely nothing of why Josh needs a new partner, but for anyone that's listening at home, that is listening at home, Josh's partner's name was Lauren, and we talked about it a little bit last week. She's from Love Island, the one they filmed in Vegas during the pandemic. She was on there for like less than a week and went home. Now, apparently the reason that she got disqualified, they don't even say that. They just said she got deactivated. It's because she made some racist comments, apparently, that the producers did not like. So they basically gave her the D treatment that we talked about last week, Pam, and they wrote her off the show. And I did a whole joke last week about Lauren Watch 2021, where if you look for her, she was in these hot workout pants, hot pink workout pants.
I didn't see it
for 2 seconds last week. I couldn't find her tonight. Obviously, she's gone now for good. But if you guys hop onto our Patreon, we are going to do a deep dive more into Lauren, more into what the hell she might have said. We're going to try to find out exactly what she said, because I'm shocked. The producers went out of their way to, like, I believe, did they let us know about?
We didn't know who she was. I was like, who's Lauren? You mean Bettina? Like, you kept saying the long dark haired girl.
I know they wanted to sweep Lauren under the rug, but
we didn't see Lauren. We didn't meet Lauren. We don't know Lauren, and now she's gone. That is the answer.
And the producers couldn't really sweep the D stuff under the rug because she had been on the show for so long, but they decided with the Lauren thing to not even address it. And I wonder.
D was social media. If Lauren made a remark on the show,
right? That's how. And you're right.
Edit her out
early enough in real life. They got rid of her, so it was easy to cut her out of episode 1. Like I
didn't even know who she was. Yeah, we didn't really know who she was. So.
They did a good job because I didn't know Lauren existed until they said Lauren couldn't be here anymore.
Right. So she's been deactivated. We're going to do a deep dive on that and get more into that on the on Patreon, but we don't have time tonight. So we're going to move forward here. Okay. Esther and Fessy win. They get 30 gems. Emmanuel and Casey right behind them with 28, but they just didn't have quite enough. And then Pam, we get into it. Josh and Amber B, they talk after the challenge.
Josh really solidified his place in my heart as a idiot tonight. Okay. Like such an idiot. First of all, his confessional when he's partnered with Amber B is that he's happy, but now there's a big target on their back because Amber B has beef with people. But you're of that team, Josh. So if you're playing by the rules you guys established, then you're fine. So that was my first, like, what's wrong with
They have
you?
much less of a target being a veteran team for sure.
Also, it doesn't matter if they're not the house vote and they want to go after Amber B when the rookies are gone, then fine. It doesn't affect Josh. He's
Yeah,
not.
and what is Josh so worried about? Because if Amber B gets sent in, who gives a hell if he doesn't get sent in? He can just get a new partner when she comes back. And partners, I'm telling you, partners don't really matter. Like Jenna said 5 minutes ago, they're like, they do a little bit, but like, do they? Unless you're too.
Josh doesn't get it. Although sometimes partners matter, because Bettina would not be there tonight if it wasn't for.
And it matters about getting for a couple.
Not a
again, Jenna.
Emmy. Sometimes it matters, like who your partner in the elimination. And Josh is happy because he has a good partner. Like, who knows what Lauren was capable of?
I mean,
yeah. Also, Josh, like, Amber has been on one season and already won, and you've been on how many seasons and haven't made it to has he made it to a final? And he just seemed a little bit like, oh, she's lucky to have me. He
Josh
made a lot of
delusional and stupid. I'm sorry. I hate to hate on him because I thought, I might turn it around this season, but no, he's still
Josh is and
delusional player.
This might be what Devin was referring to when he talked in that stupid show that we all watched, the aftermath before the show started. And Devin said there is one really strong alliance. How did he refer to it as? One dominance. Okay. And I'm thinking this Big Brother one that Josh is in, I think that might be the dominant alliance. We don't know for sure, but like Josh is super safe in this alliance. So I don't know what the hell he is freaking out about. He's got Devin on his side. He's got Fessy on his side. Plenty of strong hitters, both politically and strength-wise. So
my hope for this, and I don't know if this is even possible anymore numbers-wise, or it would be a lot of trust to put in the rookies because they didn't even do it for one of their own. But if Amber, because now she's the new number, it'd be nice if she would like infiltrate and then become the number and like the alliance leader for the rookies. And if she worked with them to get out some of the strong vets, because I don't think the vets are really like jiving with her. She doesn't really seem to have connections to them. They all don't really care to have her.
With Big T and
Amber. Big T, yes.
Because they know what's going on. Like, they understand how the vets work. They understand these people, because the problem is the rookies don't know each other. They're all from different. It's not like the rookies unite. They're partnered with vets. They're getting involved in their lives. They don't have a unified front the way the vets do. So yes, they need a leader, like CT was to the non-Americans during the
War of the Worlds one, right?
Worlds. Like, they need someone that knows the deal to be like, this is what we have to do, you guys.
Well, the rookies
want to get picked off one by one. Yes, Jenna, I support that.
And I loved your B point to that. I think Big T needs to be involved in that as well, because unfortunately, I think that Amber B and Big T will likely be the first female veterans to get picked off by the other veterans. They're probably the lower, even though Amber B just won and everyone loves Big T because she's amazing, charismatic, and everyone's friend. I think that when a push comes to shove, are they really going to vote Tori first? No. Are they really going to go for Ashley first? Probably not. Or Anissa, no. So they probably will go Big T first.
You're absolutely right.
The rookies need to get it together.
The rookies
because they're 4 down. They're already 4 down, ladies.
With Amber and Big T, even if they do come back from an elimination, they're not that big a threat. If like you send, Tori versus Ashley, whoever comes back is coming back with a vengeance, and they're gonna forget all about the alliance.
Guys, Big T, I wouldn't recommend Amber B jumping in with Big T. I say it every season. I think Big T.
Numbers is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, numbers wise is fine, but I don't think
the rookies are strong. The women are strong.
The rookies, don't let them get picked off. Like,
unify them, seriously. Yeah.
But I just don't think
rookies are self-imploding knowingly. They're choosing not to be paired with each other anymore, right? Like, they're choosing
right now. It's the smartest thing they can do. I mean,
we're not seeing them talking. Like, they say, like, I think Kel said, "Oh, Esther's my friend," and he said, "Oh, she won't put me in, so I got to stay out of the house elimination." But we don't ever see them talking because either the producers decide to edit that stuff out. We don't really know. But
that also wasn't Esther's choice. Like, Esther didn't put him in; the house did.
Right. No, well, that's what I'm saying. He said, as long as I get to the house vote, I should be safe because Esther's my friend. But
Yeah.
anyways, the rookies lost 4 people already. So their alliance, even though I don't think it really exists, it's already 4 down.
It doesn't exist. We're saying it should exist. That's what we're saying is that
I understand.
doesn't
I'm just saying they need to get it together. They should get it together quicker than later because already 4 of them are gone.
The thing that sucks is though, I think that if Amber B and Big T were to try that strategy, it would blow up in their faces and they would be the next people to be exposed as being like the fake ones or the backstabbers or the
it's
snakes.
just good common sense though for them to, if it's like you're gunning for rookies and we're on the bottom of your list, we're gonna get the rookies numbers to gun.
Yeah.
I hope, Jenna, that does
But
happen.
it was always common sense to go. If you had more numbers, why wouldn't you go against the lesser numbers of more powerful people? But the rookies never put that together, so I don't trust them to now.
I got people Amber B should go after. Amber B should go after Michelle. Amber B should go after Esther. Amber B should go after maybe an Emmy type situation and get them all on their side because you know how Emmy likes these bets. So say, Emmy, look, I'm going to work for you. What happened last week when you went and tattled? You got thrown in the next week again anyways. I wasn't here for that. I'm Amber B. I'm here to save the day. Join in with me.
You're right, Dan. You're right. We're all right. I can't wait to see 37 rules.
Oh, yeah. I love how we're speculating this. We have no proof that Amber B.
No, but I love it. I mean, you're right. I agree that that's a good plan.
I know. We just wanted to happen so badly.
I also still just love that Amber B is Amber B. Like the Ashleys, remember the Ambers from last season, like the Ashleys from recent. He's just Amber B, always.
They're trying to refer to her just as Amber this season, but some people are still referring to her as Amber B.
She's Amber B.
To me, she's Amber B. Have you guys, this is way off topic. Have you guys watched Outer Banks on Netflix?
Yes.
Well, there's the main character's name is John B. And did you guys also know that they filmed that in Charleston, South Carolina? And literally that where they go around, that's exactly where my parents live, right on the river there. And it's like the exact same location.
Now he lives on a river, Jenna.
My parents moved.
I thought he was Lake Dan.
My parents moved from the lake.
Dan L from the lake. Dan L. Stop it, Dan L.
Dan L.
They are loving the river. I was just on the river for the 4th of July, so it was a good time.
Did you see John B?
Jenna B.
All right.
Review Outer Banks because I have thoughts about that fucking wild ride of a show.
What's that? What show?
We need to review Outer Banks because
let's make that a Patreon too for all you Outer Banks fan out there.
Outer Banks.
If you are down for an Outer Banks, because I love Outer Banks.
I loved it.
Outer Banks has the right amount of cheese along with action. It's perfect.
I mean, this past season was like
absolutely ridiculous.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah,
it's so good.
Like, oh God, everything. It's like, it was one time they got a triptych. It was like, what's the museum Tom Hanks movie?
Would you stop? People are gonna want to watch this. This could be our pick of the week, and people are gonna want to watch this. No spoilers, Pam.
Okay. We'll save it. We'll save our Outer Banks talk.
All right, are you girls ready to want to go to the club, girls? Who wants to go to the club?
Actually, yes. I'm gonna get a chair.
All right, Jenna, get your alcohol. She's gonna go to the club.
I'm getting a chair.
Oh, I thought you were standing. I was like, really? She's standing. Let's get into the club. We got Fessy and Amanda, and Fessy's best line he can get to her is, "You look really good tonight." So there,
oh my God, Fessy and Josh, they're both idiots.
Right away, Pam, like Pam's gonna hate his line that
I wrote like, "Oh my God, Josh! Oh my God, Fessy, what is wrong?" But I like Amanda.
Nothing wrong with complimenting somebody and saying
she gave him a kiss for it. She gave him a kiss on the cheek. That was nice.
Again, it's funny because he's good looking. Like I'm gonna be nice to Fessy. He's good.
I think he is doing Ramadan fully though. From what I could tell, he didn't drink. And that's so challenging.
I think they were trying to give Fessy depth. I'm sorry, but I think the playing it up in last episode and this, it's like Fessy is now one of our star teammates and he has no personality. So what do we do?
Well, they obviously didn't. They didn't have to mention it. They didn't have to mention that he's doing that.
Interesting.
But it's coming up because
one. So how do you play when you're fasting? But at that point, if my suspicions are correct, Jenna, he could eat and drink in the night. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't think you can drink alcohol ever during
Oh,
Ramadan.
ever. Okay.
No, but I guess my point is, we're getting a personal look into the inside of a fridge. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Jenna's fridge. Oh my God, what do I see on
Oh
the
my
side
God,
there?
I see a blue Tupperware top. I see some Diet Cokes.
I see Miller Lights. I see
Orange
Miller
juice.
Lights for some reason.
Orange juice.
I'm getting a drink.
I want to have a high noon, and we should get them to be a sponsor because.
But I think the Ramadan thing's mentioned too, though, because he is having to perform under a thing that I wouldn't want to have to. I would want to be able to eat freely for something
I'm not
like that.
dissing.
Yeah.
Fessie's practice of Ramadan. I'm dissing Fessie's personality, and his hookups and his religious practices are what is his personality on this show. Like things that are not a personality, but they're like, landmarks.
This went way off course. I was just trying to say one thing is that I noticed that he wasn't drinking, and that's a very hard thing to do in that house because he was off to the side, didn't have a drink in his hand, looked like he had a clear mind, a clear conscience, and I was like, wow, for him, like he's actually that's got to be so hard to be with all those drunk idiots and not drink. I'm doing it right now. Just think about it.
There it is.
In my religion, as a Jewish, we say
As a Jewish,
we do.
Is that how it's said?
Yeah, no. As a practicing the Jewish religion, there's times when we fast and we say, I'm wishing you a speedy fast because we're Jews and we like to eat. So it's like Italians fasting. It's like wishing you a speedy fast. I hope it goes by fast for you. Like that's a big thing that is said.
Yeah.
So I hope his Ramadan goes by fast because again, he's physically exerting himself. So just for health and wellness, I hope that he doesn't have too many days. I feel like if it was 10 more days on the challenge, they almost wouldn't let him do it. Like I don't know how long Ramadan lasts from when he arrived, but
that's his choice, Pam. That's his choice. As long as he's fit to perform.
Choice, but if he's not able to, I guess he can get the nutrients. I don't know. Well, anyway,
I think that think about it. People do like kind of intermittent fasting. I'm not discrediting Ramadan. My friend is Muslim and partakes in it, and we played lacrosse together in college, and she would have really rough times during those summer workouts. Right. I know how awful it can be. However, you can like fuel up. So for the sake of him being on the show, I think when the sun goes down, the producer should hopefully make sure that he gets like a lot of nutrition. Like if he at least has like 2,500 calories in that amount of time.
And hydration.
Withstand. Yeah, exactly.
You're exerting yourself. That's the thing. He's not drinking water. In my religion, when you do a fast, there's different levels of how hard you, like Orthodox Jews, I am not one of, and they are the people that don't touch electricity on Shabbat and do for a fast. You can't even brush your teeth. I'm a reformist, which means that we like take the religion traditions and incorporate them into everyday life. So for fast, we drink water. I mean, it's up to the person, obviously, but I will drink water during a fast. Especially if
welcome to our challenge after show where we give you the ins and outs of religion
and what the fast means. Okay, so
all right, so Ashley,
like, shut up.
All right, we get Ashley and Nelson. They're and apparently Ashley's the one catching feelings and not Nelson, like we earlier expected. I don't know that if girls want to comment on that at all.
I just want to say how hilarious it is that when Emmy was crying, let's drink for Emmy crying. I
just wanted na goodbye, Emmy.
Emmy was right on a nom. When Emmy was crying, Ashley was like, "Don't worry, tonight at the bar, someone's gonna lose their mind and they'll be a target." And it was her. And Devin said, "Cut to tonight at the bar when Ashley loses her mind," and it happened.
So the reason Ashley loses. So Ashley turns into your girl Smashly, Jenna, because Nelson's flirting with Berna a little too much for her liking. And that's why Ashley calls her Bertha, and that's why the episode's called Bertha. So there's that.
Ashley really sometimes is so petty. Like she really cuts down to talk about middle school fights, right? Just having a middle school type perception of the world. I feel like she really sometimes can get down to that level where it's like, I know you're hooking up with Nelson, but it's a little bit over the top. Like that is an over the top.
She also mentioned that Nelson is not relationship material tonight before any of it happens. So what is she so surprised about him flirting with a rookie named Berna?
I think Ashley just really truly thrives on confrontation and drama. and that's how that's her personality.
Agreed.
All right, fair enough. Devin and Josh talk after the club, and they're saying that this is where they're playing chess, ladies. If you remember them playing chess.
Yes.
And they talk about wanting Kels and Tracy. And then Devin goes and tells a bunch of the other vets, including Tori. Now, Tori decides not to tell Kels. Should Tori have at least warned Kels going into nominations that he was on the chopping block?
No, there's nothing to be won by that, but making someone nervous and antsy, and no.
And I also don't think Kels could really be mad at Tori because she needs to be one of however many, one of 11, one of 12. If she doesn't vote for Kels, she's screwing herself royally and she doesn't vote for Kels to go into elimination. All she's doing is screwing herself royally and not doing anything to help him anyway. So right. I don't think it wouldn't be fair of Kels to expect that of Tori and then be mad at her. Like she would have
put a target on her own back being a vet going against the vets. However, I bet on the Aftermath right now, they're asking Tori that if Tori is on the Aftermath, they're asking her that exact question.
Well, we can deep dive that in our deep dive.
Yeah, I bet they ask her that.
The politics of that, because first of all, Devin and Josh playing chess, LOL. I want to know who won, because that's literally like Josh.
I think it was just set up. I think it was just set up for the conversation. I'm not sure they even actually touched the pieces.
That's hilarious. We need to deep dive. Tune in to our Patreon. But with Kels, the only thing I would say is that Tori could have like fought harder to put in Emmy and whoever her partner was. Then I think she did, which again, you don't want to put a target on yourself, but you could say, oh, but this is a good choice because like a little harder.
Well, it was interesting because they didn't show us when Devin said, if not you, Kels, then who else during nominations? How come either no one else stepped in to say anything, or maybe they cut it. Maybe the producers decided to cut that out to make it a little more dramatic. But I assume that Kels must have said someone else's name. He's trying to save his ass.
So on this, rewind back to the club where Fessy's trying to make a deal with Kels, which would have been maybe smart since Fessy was actually it didn't matter if he was the house. But Kels literally says, no, it's too early to be making any deal. So they give us a clip of Kels's mind frame of, there's no need to rock the boat, just sail the waves. Mm-hmm. That's what Kels says. So Fessy and Josh, the freaking brain trust, are trying to set up an alliance with the newest, biggest, baddest guy and to convince him to like be on their team. And Kels was having none of it. So that's when stupid dumb Josh gets up and does this. We know it's bullshit because like
I loved the way that Kels handled this deliberation.
So that's what's so great about it, Jenna, is Tori didn't even give him a heads up of what was going on. At least we don't see her give him a heads up. And he still had like the best comebacks in the world for this kid. Yes. And Josh had nothing to say.
Smashed it. I feel like the house at that point was dumb to vote him in. Especially after Esther said, like, wow, I'm going to say someone's name and then they're going to come back. So think about that.
Pam, everyone was too afraid. It was too early. And honestly, all those other guys, even though they pretended not to care about what Josh said and also said to Kels, no, you didn't make a deal with me. They still thought to themselves, well, it would be nice to get rid of him, though. Absolutely. So even though everyone gave Josh shit, they all still jumped on the Josh bandwagon as much as you don't want to admit it, Pam.
But at least Kels went down embarrassing and humbling Josh, He
certainly did.
And he's like, listen, Josh, you're not tactical. You're not smart. If you think I'm making deals or if I am making deals, it's not you that's going to crack the case. We all know that you think I'm big and strong. And that's the reason why you're throwing me in. And I love that he said, CT, did I make a deal with you? Did I make a deal with you? Did I make a deal with you?
Yes, Jenna.
And everyone says no. Like the perfect rebuttal.
It wasn't like, and again, I would have done what Michaela done and been like, no, I didn't. Look at this. Like, I would have totally been like, what?
But Howard did, me too. Yeah.
To learn, like in life, is like that doesn't work. You look shady. You do what Kels did and be like, we can all see through what's
ladies,
happening.
And I'll be devil's advocate here. With all that said and how cool Kels played it and all that stuff, he still went home.
Because he was right. You're shook because I'm big and strong. Your
Right.
boy Fessy made you be the mouthpiece because
The
you're
guinea
too
pig.
young to recognize that that's bad for you if I come back. So Fessy said, he's not willing to make a deal with me and play with us, dude. You got to call him out at elimination. And these dum-dums, it worked. You're right. It worked because everyone is too scared right now. So when someone's called out, it's like, okay, that person. But I
And
don't.
also because Kells is so scary that people just wanted him gone. The thing with Josh had nothing to do with Kells getting voted in. Josh saying like, oh, you're making all these deals. That was always just the scapegoat. That was always just the excuse. Everyone was always going to vote for Kells to begin with. If anything, I think Kells standing up for himself made him even more worthy of getting his vote deferred. Anybody's vote against him deferred.
And knowing what a liar Josh is, because everyone in that room knew that they didn't make a deal with Kells.
Right.
Like
I know, but it's also, I think it's the concept of they can't sit there for 20 minutes and just go at the end of 20 minutes without saying anything. All right, type in your votes. There has to be some type of bullshit reason that they try to do this every season. I'm like, if you don't have a reason, just say, wow, or why couldn't Josh have just been honest and said, dude, you're the biggest rookie in the house. You're also a rookie. Go in there and prove yourself. I'm afraid to go against you. Like, wouldn't that be a little more?
Yeah, that's always
is that okay to be honest on this show a little bit? Like, why not just admit it? Who cares?
Right. That is obvious. Like if you're throwing in CT, you say you're an all-time champ, you're big. I don't want to see you in a final. Like that would have been a cooler move. That Fessy tried to partner with you last night or make a deal with you. You weren't into it, so we don't know where you stand in this game. I don't want to see you in a final. I'm voting Kells.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That would have been decent. I would have respected that. Like
everyone's like really proud, I think. And in the past few seasons, that's always been something that we've been talking about is why are people thinking that they need to make excuses for voting somebody in for just being big, bad, and tough?
Right, you're a threat. You're a threat.
And also, why are people getting upset about being voted in for being big, bad, and tough? Like that's what the name of the game is. People want you out because you're a strong competitor. That's how it's supposed to work.
Right.
Well,
like, right. You don't need
this
to.
Is
big brother. Yeah, you don't need to sneak lie that he's scheming.
This is the concept. They're making content and drama out of nothing that's any good. There's no basis for it. They're building a house without a foundation, and the house just falls down in 2 seconds because it's garbage. It was a garbage argument.
Well, the competitors or the producers, you think?
I don't know. Wait, well, see, and that's the thing. I go back to it. Is it a little bit of both? Probably.
Because I don't know why. Am I drinking the Kool-Aid that I think it actually is the contestants?
And
like,
I think it is.
That's fine.
And I hope it comes back to bite Josh in the ass. Like he lied about the. Honestly, I hope Amber B gets to pick a new partner. Like there's all these things. I really dislike Josh and.
So here's what happens in me and Pam's perfect episode. Josh and Emmy go in together and they get sent. Actually, that's not Pam's perfect episode.
I don't hate Emmy, and I like she's entertaining. Josh, he's. I'm ready
but
to.
How about we split the difference?
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
You each get to pick one to go home.
Yeah, fine. I pick Josh. You can pick Emmy, and I'm fine with both of them going home. Like, and let like Berna and CT take them out.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, the compromised agents are Tracy and Kells. Tracy. We're gonna never see Tracy again, but
I liked her.
Oh my God! Tracy states her opinion. Tracy like says something in the nominations, and I write down Tracy talks. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Oh, you mean she was so nice.
Oh my God, she was so blah. She was so
cute.
Brought nothing to the table.
She's just a nice person, and we have to hate that.
She's fine. I don't hate her, but I didn't register. She's a Lauren.
Well, I don't know if she's a Lauren because I don't think she can basis comments, but
yeah.
Okay, she's a good Lauren.
She's like a Renan, like, okay, so Jenna, Renan, like,
Renan.
He was a blah fest.
Renan? Well, yeah, and that wasn't Tracy because Tracy competed tonight. Renan flopped like
Renan.
this.
Oh.
Agreed.
No,
so
Renan
yes.
didn't compete. Tracy competed.
Renan didn't compete, and Tracy sucked tonight too. She couldn't pick up those things.
Suck. She
couldn't pick up the things.
He was almost on par. It's that Ed is secretly smart, which no one. He sounds like he's a Philly.
Look,
like
I agree. All right, time out. Ed is definitely smart, but it didn't take a friggin' genius to put together a map of the damn world. I'm sorry, but she kept calling him like the smartest guy alive. She was excited to win. So
He did it in 3 seconds though. Like they were like Kells, God bless Kells, and but he was like, wait, put him on the floor. Like he literally said,
That's not a bad idea though.
we can look at it.
Well, the first piece I saw was the bottom tip of South America, and I knew right away it was a picture of the world. So
I knew too, but
call
that
me a
doesn't mean
genius
it
then.
was-
Why can't I be the genius then?
I knew what
Yes,
it
you
was.
are, because I'd be like, I don't know, what's that, Australia?
Even if I knew what it was, it doesn't mean I'd be able to put it together. And
Exactly. When you see
I'm
something in a
not
puzzle
happy.
piece, totally
I'm not
different.
a happy
All
person.
right.
No, I'd be like, yeah.
Well, I think that's a great transition to get right into the layer, the elimination of the evening. And it's called flipping something. Did you girls get the name of the game? Flipping
partners or something, because
Flipping
these guys
something.
were flipping these girls to the moon.
They were beating the hell out of them, that's for sure.
Stacey, I felt so bad because that girl's a stick and Kells is a giant, and I'm like, she's gonna get whiplash after this because
It's
she
interesting.
around.
It's
like a
interesting you say
branch.
that because Ed was being much more gentle. He would actually, when she flipped up, when Emmy flipped up, he would catch the cage before it slammed, where Kells was just yanking the shit out of her. And also they were behind in it. I think he was getting frustrated that she kept dropping the pieces multiple times.
Ed helped. Like Ed, like when it was towards the end, like leaned in with her to like.
That's what I'm saying. He caught her. He caught her from falling so harshly.
Tracy, I mean, I said earlier that she competed, and she did, but she did actually frustrate me very early on because I was so much rooting for Kells that I felt like Kells was getting slighted because Tracy was sucking in the beginning. But she closed the gap. She got us together and she closed the gap, and she tried hard.
She closed the gap because they couldn't get that last puzzle piece because the magnetics was only on 2 sides. Car lives? No, magnetic was only on 2 sides.
It wouldn't be a show without it. That was a good subliminal sneak in.
I snuck it in.
Not so just subliminal.
But the thing that Tracy was messing up was she kept, when she was reeling it in, she kept grabbing the magnet. She grabbed the magnet and made it pop off.
Don't grab the magnet.
That's why, but Pam, that's why I thought she sucked so bad. She did it like 3 separate times. Like, live and you learn. Maybe do it twice, but 3 times you messed it up.
A lot, but then empathizing, like, kind of have to get to the, you're pulling, and then there's only so much. Like,
you got. Ed was really smart. He'd lean her into it. He'd start pulling her up, so the block fell on top.
They played better.
And he looks a lot more muscular than he did on the circle, right?
No, he's beefier. Like, he's actually chunkier. He was slim and muscular.
But
it's fine. It's like beefy muscle.
Yeah,
he's
meatier, sure.
Thicker.
Yeah.
I'm not calling him.
He's a small dude though, huh? He's like what, 5'6",
but he was
maybe?
like lean, mean muscle machine on the circle.
Well, he doesn't have his mom competing with him this time, so he's probably
Exactly.
all out of
No, that's the other one. He's the brother that didn't keep. That's what he's. So the mother and son. This is their other brother. Like, this is the.
No, Mitchell's the other brother. Ed competed with his mom.
And what was the most recent? Ed competed with his mom.
Ed competed with his mom.
So I'm thinking Ed was Mitchell. That's why I thought it was different. There you go. Okay. I thought he looked a little beefier than the other one.
Oh yeah, no, they don't.
Under over. I was like, he was like a lean, mean muscle machine. I got beefier, but
because it's a different human.
Under over, Ed is 5'6". Under over 5'6".
I
don't know. No idea. You can't tell.
On TV, I usually.
But
to think about that. I don't think
so.
On set, when you're watching someone on TV like a Tom Cruise, you can't really tell how short they are. Right. Then you see them in real life, like, wow, they're short. But Ed looks short. I think it's because he's so beefy that he just looks shorter. So that's not helping him. He's not like slimmed out or whatever.
And he was next to Kells, so.
But I give him, I give him big props, and he obviously looks mini next to Kells. You're right.
I love Ed.
But big props for Ed. He's not my favorite by any means yet, but he's growing on me. He's doing his thing. I appreciate him being there.
Ed and Tori, I like skipping ahead. Ed and Tori are my right now my sweetheart team because I really love them.
They've been together for 5 seconds, and
I know, but I think they're both smart and athletic, so it's going to be hard to beat. Like Cal's. I'm not saying he's not smart, but we don't know. We know he's big and tough and physically intimidating. We didn't, unfortunately, get a chance to see.
Boo-hoo. We won't be finding that out this season. Jenna, you're the most upset by the Kells gone. I was rooting for Ed just because I think he's kind of fun. And I just don't think Tracy's good TV, so I went the other way on you, but you went for the
Yeah, because I liked Kells from Too Hot to Handle, and I also just like the way that he was making the veterans shook. And he obviously, like, it really would have been nice to see him compete more because he has the makings of a great competitor. And I don't want that to sound superficial because sometimes you see guys with muscles and it can be misleading. For example, Emmanuel, you wouldn't think that he's a beast competitor, but tonight he looked really fast. He looked like he had it. He had enough to work with. But Kells is just like, damn, I really want to see what he could do. And I love that he was like
Jenna,
really a threat to the vets. Like they were scared.
To my conspiracy, then the producers had an opportunity to help Kells out and give him a more physical competition because anybody else is smaller than him, and they purposely chose this one knowing who was coming in to this elimination. So I'm thinking the producers maybe didn't want him around anymore for some weird reason. That's all.
I want to suggest season 38, Vengeance. And it's just people that were sent home early that were sent home because they were threats coming back, like Michaela and Kells. From other seasons too, just vengeance. Like we got axed when we shouldn't have because we were a threat.
Yeah,
and they get to come back and fight.
I don't know.
That's good. I like that.
The issue with that is there's going to be so many more reality shows filming now that are going to have more popular people on it that producers are going to want to bring in versus these guys, which are going to be old news. They already had their chance. And I'm saying there's only so much room.
I hope they do that. And you know what they should do, Pam? They should make this section, make like a dog pin of the people threw them into elimination. So make like a whole separate house or group or team of the people that threw those people into elimination right away and make them compete in elimination to even get into the real house. They're not even in the game.
That's
right?
a good idea.
Like the people who got sent home early are the people running the house, and then the assholes who threw them in, even though we say assholes, but it's like that's the point of the game.
No,
But whatever.
Take out Bessie to see who earns their place in the show.
Yes, you have to actually get into the show.
Right, like maybe they would do half, like there's only, I like it, Jenna. Maybe there's only like that's half the season, and then the second half of the season is the people that made it in. It's like a pre-elimination.
And then it's a real show.
That's like it. And that,
Love it. Let's pitch it. Let's go to Beauty and Murray. Let's get our presentation ready.
Tell us in the comments below if you believe that this could be an actual possibility for Challenge Season 38.
I'm sad Kells went
doghouse.
So far, some of
my get out of the doghouse.
So Vengeance Doghouse is our.
But their goal would be to get out of the doghouse, like what happens when men say they're in the doghouse because of they
No, the judges though, or the whatever of this, we haven't worked it all out, guys.
Oh yeah, you know.
But the judges are like Berna and the other partner, like they get to be like, we think that one did a better job. You know, they
they have to perform. Maybe they have to do a like in RuPaul's. Maybe we've put RuPaul in here, and then they have to do a karaoke contest, drag race contest to get into the house.
And then a bachelor comes and they have to date them to
get. Can I ask you a question?
Reality show matchup.
How many rookies from last season came back this season? Amber B.
I don't even remember.
I'm giving you names. Nam. I'm going to keep going. Amber B. Nam.
I don't even know.
Yep.
Oh, we're missing Gabby and my other favorite, Amber.
Who other were rookies? Oh, right, Gabby, we liked.
But that's my point. From last season, only 2 people came back.
They were amazing competitors that got smashed before their time. They were like average personality.
But that's my point of why they're not going to bring back every single person that's got smashed because they didn't build enough of following.
But the people that really deserve that have stuck to the teeth of the fans, like Kells, we're all going to be upset about. Michaela is interesting. It might be policy to have everybody that was eliminated on the shows, but
who went home first in season 36? Who went home first season 36?
I don't know.
Exactly my point.
We will find out.
Yeah.
And you don't have to watch our show then, Dan.
I'm just trying to play the other side of it because I think it's more fun that way. And if we agree all the time, what the hell are they going to watch?
It could be like a Blackish, but like challenge-ish. Like it could be the hodgepodge of all the shows. Like challenge-ish. Like
oh my! If they put an ISH at the end of this, Oh my God.
Challenge.
What a
It's
season.
A little performance.
They
a
should
little
do-
singing, and a
No,
challenge.
They should do season 37 and a half, and then we can have your show, girls.
Right. Exactly. It could be an off-season show. It could be a spin-off.
What
No.
any other thoughts
Yeah.
on I'm sorry, ladies, what?
Nothing.
That's just giving me support that we shouldn't underestimate our show, that it could be
Well, Dan, when you see our names under the executive
not Dan.
And ladies, and I will give you
Dan's name.
you're not even allowed to be a handler. You can't
I
even
will
be a
give you
handler on the
oh
show.
come on, I'd be a great host of that show. I will
Handler?
give you girls 100% props if you're right and I'm wrong, and I always love admitting when I'm wrong. I don't mind at all. So if
Dan.
if the next season is what you girls just proposed, 100% I'll be praising you like they do in Wayne's World. We're not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not
Honestly,
worthy.
unless they pay me $1 million for
Right.
for our idea.
Jenna, I
No,
think
these
we let
producers are swiping away from you right now.
Dan can wash the dishes for the house.
Hey, whatever I can do to be involved, as long as you know, I just want to be on a movie set.
I mean, you'll be a good
All right,
intern.
we-
Well, I don't know about payment. But
We have news and gossip, ladies. Do you want to get to that, or do you have anything else about this elimination?
Tori and Ed, yay! Why is Devin the first pick of every?
Hello, I've been saying it for years. This kid can play. I knew you'd love this, Jenna. Second week in a row, 2 weeks in a row, this guy's picked first. Clearly, I'm onto something. This kid can play the game. He's got the mental awareness. I'm telling you, he can do it. Puzzles all day.
And-
Elimination.
I think
Andy
you're
is
putting.
strong, so maybe they will be a good team together.
It's not about strength right now. It's about having the right partner to politic you to the next level. Did strength do anything tonight for Kells? No, he's on a bus ride home. Well, he is.
Where are they again, by the way? Because it was beautiful.
Croatia, right? Croatia.
Oh, when they showed them, God, we almost picked to go on our honeymoon in Croatia, and now I'm sort of.
You would have been there at the same time. Not really, but
Oh no, because they.
no,
filmed
they're
it.
done filming. Okay. News and gossip.
Okay.
This is great. Well, not great, but at least we find out a little bit more. Let's start with Nam. Nam went home last week. All TJ says is Nam is no longer fit to compete. I don't know how he said it.
He was medically disqualified.
Medically disqualified. He said medically disqualified. Why? They know that he got COVID, okay? And now we know that he got COVID. It's been not guaranteed, but enough people are talking about it. It's most likely it was COVID. That's why they stopped filming for 2 weeks. That's why it all got pushed back, because apparently Berna also got COVID, but she recovered where Nam got really sick or something and he just could not compete. Why can TJ not just say that they got COVID? Because MTV is all about, if you have a mental issue, they're all about mental awareness. And I think it's great. All these commercials are about mental awareness if you watch them, right? Why are they so afraid to talk about how COVID is a real thing on their show? What's the issue?
I don't think that's it at all.
Right. That's exactly what it is. They purposely
I don't
didn't
think
mention
they talk
COVID.
about mental health. They didn't say that what's her name, Olympian, was sent home for mental health reasons or
Oh, no, the commercials are all about mental health. They have people coming on there all about advertising, and mental health is a big thing because on their show, a lot of people have gone home for mental health. They let us know that the wrestler guy went home for mental health.
Who?
It's all been taught. It's all talked about openly. The COVID thing is when swept under the rug, and I'm just confused by it.
Oh,
I don't understand why.
Realize, I can't think of any times when they've announced they went home for mental health unless someone dies, but that's not a mental health reason. That's
How did we find out that
Leo's last year was because the house was, I think, reminding him of his abuse,
his
substance
childhood,
abuse
his
that he
childhood, yeah.
endured as well.
because I
Did
guess
he
it's
also
up
have
to the person. I'm sure they asked the competitor, "Are you comfortable with this, or do you want us to gloss over?" I mean, I would not. I don't know because I feel it's like HIPAA. Like you don't tell people about someone's medical. It's just
maybe Nam was like, I don't want people to know I got COVID. I don't want to.
It's just that's up to them. They can't.
And ladies, if that's what you believe happened, I'm just a little more. If they're all about keeping people safe and letting people know that COVID is a real thing, because there's plenty of people in the world that don't really believe it's an issue. Well, I'm not one of them. Seeing you roll your eyes at it. So why would they bring more?
I realized that I live in a bubble. Like recently, when I was like, "Well, who's not vaccinated?"
There's
I was
so
like, I
many.
don't know anyone that's not vaccinated, and people were like, "I know," and I was like, "I live in a bubble," but
it's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
well,
So yes, And if Nam was like, no, I don't want people knowing I have COVID, more power to Nam for
You're
wanting
not
his stuff.
allowed to disclose people's personal medical. You're like legally not. You're not unless
I'm just shocked that MTV is usually pretty good about bringing awareness to social issues and situations and just the world and what's happening. And they have not even mentioned that they had to go on hiatus for 2 weeks. They didn't even say that. They could have at least said that. I'm throwing it out there to get the discussion.
Said, but then it's. I mean, you're right. They could have said that. It's a hard thing to answer. I do think though that Ammo, that's who went home for. What that was his. I think he wanted to express that that's why he was going home. That it was like
Ammo had been sexually assaulted.
Right.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So
but I'm saying when he did it, that was like I'm talking about this publicly. That's their choice. I don't think if he went home for that, MTV would have been like, since he was sexually assaulted and we want to raise awareness on sexual assault, we're going to tell you that. Like, I don't
it's a story to tell sort of thing.
Right.
You ladies are right. If Nam doesn't want it out there that he got COVID and got severely sick, I totally understand that. I just think there could have been a way for the producers to at least do an awareness thing. Like they're doing all these commercials for mental health right now because they know a lot of their competitors are going through things on this show and they don't want to be like the NFL who tries to sweep things under the rug and it's biting them in the ass now.
Right. No, absolutely. I agree with you that MTV could have been like, we've had several shows halted because of COVID. Like something like that.
That's more, I guess that's where I'm coming from. I'm tired of people thinking that COVID is not a big deal, and it just bothered me that
there is a lot of like. I'm sorry to be boring, but legalities with TV production, like
I get it.
There are a lot of things you can and cannot do. Like the people that were pregnant, the girl that was pregnant, they didn't.
Right, and they didn't. And to like, your point, ladies, they didn't tell us that either. We had to find out about that later.
That's not their story to tell, and I think some are off limit. Like
they don't have to tell us
physical condition. Yeah, like
or anything.
Yeah, it's like if their family didn't know of something, you can't make that announcement on TV.
And it is interesting too. But as a fan of the show, every time someone goes home and they don't tell us, we all just run online to find out what the hell's going on because we're such big fans. So I guess. To us, it's just like I want to know, just so because we loved Nam, like we really were rooting for Nam.
Back. Me and
you and I said maybe it's his back flared up again, right? So it's not about like wanting to call Nam out, like you suck because you got COVID. No, I just we felt bad for him and wanted to know what the hell happened to the poor guy. So I guess it's more on that side of me too. I want to know.
Right, we want to know everything.
We're fans of the characters, a lot of them, and we want to know what's going on. Okay. I only have one other news and gossip, and then we can wrap this thing up. Do you remember when Bananas made that nice picture of him and Sarah and wrote it, and then Sarah came out with a thing, I don't even think about it anymore. I don't care about this at all. It doesn't bother me. I don't ever think about it. So what's going on here? Well, Sarah hopped on social media and she wrote this. Fun fact. Did you know that it is unlawful for the purpose of advertising or selling to knowingly use another's name, voice, signature, photograph, or likeness without the person's prior consent? So I responded to that just to you ladies now saying, I guess Sarah does still care about it because if she didn't, why is she still talking about it?
Also, Sarah, that was on TV. That was
Correct.
A screenshot of a moment that you signed your consent to.
Agreed as well.
As far as I understand the law.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like in perpetuity too, right? The terminology, like you sign yourself away to be used in like whatever
in context of.
As long as it's related to MTV, I believe. So as long as Bananas got permission from the companies that he needed to. I don't know though. So I saw that and I was kind of like, ooh, if she has some legs to stand on, that could be interesting to see how this unfolds.
He doesn't have any legs to stand on.
You don't think?
Well, so Jenna, if she doesn't.
Well, it is personal gain though. Sorry. It was Bananas' personal gain. So maybe like MTV can do it.
I say
and other people can like use it for a gift or whatever, but Bananas profited off it.
You're right. Yes, that's interesting. I wonder how that will.
Right. And
I'm interested to see if it unfolds it in any way.
And I'm with you, Jenna, 100%. More power to Sarah if she can pull off suing Bananas for something like that. But also less power to Sarah. Less power to Sarah because I think it's garbage if she's obviously thinking about it still. Don't come out and say you don't care. I can't stand that stuff. just
For sure thinking about it. Yes.
I think it can both. I think it's nuanced. I think it can work both ways. It was just the anniversary, so I'm sure Sarah doesn't wake up every fucking morning.
I didn't say that.
The bananas. You're right. You didn't say that. However, I think I saw a lot of comments that are like, "But she said she doesn't care. She just doesn't even think about it." And sure, I get that. However, the amount of comments that she's getting, the amount of shit that she's getting, that she's allowed to respond. She's allowed to think about it for 1 second when she gets a notification on her phone about Bananas now selling her face because of what he did. She's allowed to then be like, oh, now I am thinking about it. You're right.
I like to nitpick about it. Then that's what you said. Yeah.
And I get you. It's like a fair enough point. However, I think that like she's allowed to think about it sometimes.
I agree.
He's selling pictures of her. Of course, she's
Right.
thinking about it.
Yes, for sure. 100% she's thinking about it.
Pictures of her stealing from him. I agree with Jenna.
Yeah,
She's
you can
talking on
say
a day-to-day basis. Doesn't
right.
think about it.
Right.
But when he's like making a big deal of like, ha, I fucked you over, and like selling pictures of the moment he fucked her over.
Like it just got reopened again. So now we're all paying attention again.
So I think she said that probably in the way beginning of the anniversary when people said, are you still mad? I don't really think about it. But now it's like, okay, now that all this is going on, I'm going to nitpick about it because we all are making me.
And to me, it's just more fun to throw it on the whole other side and bring up more drama. But anyways, that's all I got for the show tonight. I thought we had very opposing views on almost everything. So people have plenty of stuff to write in the comments about whose team, whose side are you on? What are your feelings on this episode? What are your feelings on the stuff that we said? Please try to write positive comments, but I guarantee there won't be 100% of those.
And also, if you're watching this, because we know you are, if you're watching this, but please subscribe because it's really, really helpful to us since we're doing this independently now. And then also, if you want to hear a deeper dive.
Yeah. And hashtag challenge season 38. Who let the dogs out? That's what it.
Okay.
I like
okay.
I wanted to do it too.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Jenna, tell them to subscribe. I'm just kidding. Please like and subscribe. The kids
I have to do like that too. Subscribe.
Just subscribe.
Wait, do you guys remember this? You know how like Gen Z does this now, right? Like it's all like this. Were you guys my age of millennial though? Do you remember taking like MySpace pictures and being like,
sure. Yeah, I thought you were too young for MySpace.
I never even had a MySpace.
Like this, like,
MySpace was cool, but for a hot minute, MySpace was like the thing.
The shit, man. That was what started social media. Thank Tom. But like how Gen Z does this thing. So now Gen Z, here's a lesson. Millennials used to be like you did like twisty kiss face, like.
But didn't they say aren't side parts out right now? Or middle parts are out? There's some TikTok girls that say, I don't know, something about side parts. Someone asked me if I knew.
Well, I'm a dude, so I just flip mine like that and I'm done. So.
No, that's cool.
Okay.
Cool hair.
Sorry.
Right.
Oh, Jenna's ready to go. Jenna,
right, we have to do our Patreon now because I gotta.
I know.
Now we'll do it another time if we'll do our deep dive and then we'll do quotes.
Okay.
We'll
okay, sounds good.
Have a good night, everyone. See you later.